Have you noticed that your friends are playing Roblox less and less? What if I told you that I have been in the exact same boat for 13 years? Like thousands of other people, I also feel displaced by the direction Roblox has been taking for many years. What I used to find charming about the platform has all but been removed, leaving me nowhere else to go. I've spent a lot of time searching for alternatives since 2018 and none of them had ever felt right to me, at least until earlier in July, when I found Polytoria one night. From my first look at the website I saw a huge amount of charm from the platform. Immediately I signed up in the middle of the night after looking at some gameplay. On the first day a challenge had gotten into my head. How known can I become in 30 days as a new player? Planning out every single thing I wanted to dip my feet into truly say I had gave it my best effort. On July 12th I made the Kind Heart account, spent some time getting used to the website UI. Afterwards my first day was spent in the actual Polytoria client, playing a natural hazard survival, customizing my avatar and reading up on the forums. Day 1 wasn't very long and it quickly came to an end with nothing significant. By day 2 I was ready to dive deeper into Polytoria. I looked at the front page, saw nothing that interested me. That made me realize I have to be the change I want to see. I went straight to dabbling in the creator for the first time ever. However, I needed an inspiration for it. One game I had played when I first signed up to Roblox was Stickmaster Luke's Downhill Smash, a classic physics-based game where you had to dodge trucks. I chose that game as inspiration and got straight to work. I wasn't ever a professional scripter, but regardless I forced myself to learn the creator, made scripts to drop the planks after cloning them from server hidden, another script that flinged the player once they touched the plank, yet another script for setting the player's team once they finished the map. I spent time carefully adjusting the plank's properties to make sure they dropped down the slope just right. After my first ever all-nighter of mapping and scripting I had created the first playable version of Kind Heart's plank dodging. It included 4 planks in that version and was a nice, chill experience, the exact game I wanted to script. The Gamma plank is still my favorite, don't tell anyone I said that oh. However for my game, I felt there could be more added. So I went back into the creator, pulled another all-nighter to fix bugs, while I doubled the length of the map and even added some more planks. I finally felt ready to 1.0 the game on day 3. I set the game to public at 3 AM and waited. I was testing my game on public servers when one player came in and quickly became my first victor, then another, and another. Suddenly my game had amassed an entire 8 players at once. Through timing and a bit of luck I had managed to get Kind Heart's plank dodging in the second most active game slot on Polytoria for a few minutes. The hype died down of course, but that moment and what happened after motivated me even further. Some time later 2 players came in and gave me my first ever donations. Those players were Noskel104 and Starry the Star. Noskel gave me 40 bricks, the most I ever received, while Starry the Star, a now retired stud grinder, was the first to say they believed in me, what I was doing, saying that I had potential on this platform. Their words still stick with me, as I go through Polytoria today and will do so for long beyond that. These 2 players alone made me pumped to continue, but had raised the stakes even further, as the first week comes to an end. Week 2 was where I kept my momentum going. Kind Heart's plank dodging was a success in my opinion. What I needed to do afterwards was create my other social media accounts for Kind Heart. I had forgotten to do so at the start, severely hurting my reach online. In the meantime, I went and played Not Enough Wars, while waiting for my new social media accounts to age out. Quests had just reset on this very night when a staff member joined the server I was in for the very first time ever. While I was shocked, I still didn't want to be a nuisance. I left him alone, but despite that, another player mentioned his staff icon. That's when I jumped into the conversation. Both of us talked about how much we enjoyed the platform with Everlist. I told Everlist I would absolutely be spending money on the platform because of how much I enjoyed it. So what did Everlist do in response to us? He outright says he'd give us both a month of Plus Deluxe for free. He told us to check our inboxes after using the disabled messaging system to send us the link to claim a month of Plus Deluxe right there in our inboxes. My mind was racing with all the benefits I'd now be able to get for the next 30 days. Before I knew it, Everlist was gone from the server, leaving me and the other user its Pink Pub Gamer stuck in shock with our newly given free memberships. While I was still stumped from getting the membership for free, earlier that exact same day I had posted a meme I recreated to the Polytoria subreddit. More specifically a Polytoria version of the kids are smoking the coronavirus meme. You likely have seen variations of circulating the internet recently. A few days prior I had spent hours remaking it in Polytoria, from the clip replacements of the original memes footage to piecing it all together in my editing software. As for posting it, I had been working the forums and various social media, only posting it then, when I felt confident enough it would do well with the community. To which the 60 plus upvotes it had by the time I am editing this, I would say that it was a success. I spent the rest of the week to coming back down from yet another die, preparing for the third week of my challenge after putting many hours in for 2 explosive weeks back to back. After the week gave me some much needed rest, I felt re-energized and ready to get into making another game on Polytoria. I had been inspired by Quake and other PC arena shooter games of the past. This led to me firing up the creator and instantly getting to work. My first instinct was to just build a basic test map for me to test the weapons I had started working on, though this was not an easy challenge. I had placed a single part when suddenly it felt like I couldn't get a single thought out onto the grass base plate in my project file. I had been thrown into a mapping rut. I tried multiple iterations, spitting out whatever buildings came to mind with the limited knowledge I had just to get a single part of the map built. It took me 2 days of work, but I had eventually finished a basic map that looked like this. Yeah, not that great. I know, but it did its job of helping me test tools against parts of the map players would be engaging in combat on. I finally got to start experimenting with how I wanted the camera to be controlled. I quickly found that I much preferred the camera being able to zoom out to third person at a short distance, allowing players to third person peek around corners at very close distances, but not be able to see the entire map from a single glance. With my camera system in place, I showcased the development update and inclusion of a melee to a friend and continued working. Unfortunately, this would be when disaster struck for my basic arena game. My mouse started having issues. The RGB started to flicker, it disconnected in the mouse software. Then it stopped connecting to my PC entirely, it had all happened so fast. Stuck with a dead mouse, I couldn't work on anything. Kind Heart's basic arena game was put on indefinite hiatus as a result. That same friend thankfully came to bail me out and ordered a replacement when I asked if they could help out. However, this left a new question in my mind as I waited. What can I do in the meantime while waiting for my mouse to arrive? I remembered that I had a controller I could use on my computer and that Steam had native controller mapping for desktop. So I plugged it in and immediately set up a config in Steam to use as a temporary replacement for my dead mouse. I couldn't continue scripting, as it was difficult, so I returned back to playing games on the platform. One specific game I had been grinding in the background was not enough hours by thought. It called to me to finish working for Prestige 20, something less than 75 players had achieved despite the game having almost 100,000 visits. However, the footage leading up to me getting to Prestige 20 isn't the most interesting. You just mine down until the money earned from breaking a block was enough to Prestige. Regardless, after a few days of multi-hour mining, I walked up to the Prestige menu. It's fun, clicked the Prestige button, and got my achievement for reaching the 20th Prestige. Feeling satisfied, I put my controller down and rested up after a week that left me unable to work and wanting more. Week 4 honestly should have started with my second game's launch, but sometimes things just don't go your way. Regardless, in the final week, I am taking the time to sit back and think about everything I had accomplished in that month. I signed up to Polytoria as a complete nobody with 0 outside or inside connections, immediately released a game and started making attempts at making my presence known on the platform. In my first week, that gave me my first supporters star Eva star and Noskill 104. In my second week I had met a staff member in-game for the first time, resulting in me getting a month up plus deluxe for free. My meme recreation had shown I could actually make content people liked. Week 3 taught me how to persevere, even when I had hardware issues with my setup that stopped me from working. I continued working on my forum posts and replies, helping others with quests, when I had finished my own. For week 4, instead of having the exciting climax that I wanted, I'm taking the time to just reflect on it all. Even though I wasn't able to capitalize on my week 3 hunger, I've done some smaller scale things since the week started. I made some ads for my group Kind Hearts and started advertising them on the website's advertising system. I had crossed the 100 post count and finally entered the triple digits. Speaking of the forums, a popular forumer sent me a friend request. Of course I accepted it. After 30 days of trying Polytoria, I absolutely loved it. This was only supposed to be a 30-day challenge, but due to how much I enjoyed the platform, I've decided that I will be staying on this platform beyond the original 30-day timer. If you watched all the way until the end of this video, it would be great if you join me on Polytoria. My profile referral and guild are linked in the description. I earn 10% on any bricks purchases you make on the platform when you sign up with it, and I would love to see you in my guild. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you on Polytoria soon.